What's up, YouTube fam? How you guys doing today? Clint London Max, and today, boys and girls, well, we are cracking into the Yamaha YZ250 that we just picked up for 400 bucks on the Craigslist. Gonna jump into some things I found inside the motor. She's already split apart. Talk about one of the most popular topics I have ever gotten on this channel still today. Addressing it here today. Strap in, let's go.
Doing what he knows best, igniting a second chance for a bike and a rider. 2-stroke or 4-stroke, from budget builds to best in class, from the Bakersfield Hills to the Supercross track. You're watching the London Max YouTube channel. You're watching the London Max YouTube channel.
Let's just give it all the reverend. Release the grease. Just make sure and really get that bottom end degreased. Piston, sure. Get all around it here. Look at this grease and dirt just melt off with this. Reverend, keep up the good work. Man, this is just awesome. Definitely needs to be cleaned up. Look at that piston. Oh, let's just get this in there real good. Yep. Just, you know, you always want to be really thorough when you're rebuilding bikes. Just get it clean. Get that in there. You know, you really want a clean bottom end, guys. So yeah, now I could just hear the keyboard warriors just flaring up like, why would you hose out a motor with a pressure washer? Let me tell you guys something, okay? I've been doing this for a little bit, and hosing something out when you're planning on taking it completely down to bare metal, vapor honing cases, replacing all the bearings, it does not matter one tiny bit. If you get water, anything, like, let's be honest, it's full of rust. How bad is flushing it with water gonna hurt? Today, boys and girls, we are going to be doing a couple things. One thing is I'm going to be showing you the cheapest way to absolutely degreasing your motor, whether you're going to be vapor honing or not. Maybe you're just wanting to get it cleaned up to put it back together. Fine, we'll run over that today. Also, I have the engine all torn apart. I'm going to show you guys what happened. It is pretty gnarly. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of glad we didn't get it going, because if we did get it going, well, it could have cost probably twice more in cost if it did run. Like, we would have just destroyed so many other parts. So hindsight being the devil that it is, I'm glad it didn't start. Let's go take a look, show you what's going on. First and foremost, before I get going, the shop, garage, whatever, is an absolute disaster. So if you guys didn't know, I am moving out of California in just over a month. On April 30th, when our launch date is to move to Carson City, Nevada. And guys, I have everything pulled out of every cabinet. Like, I had all kinds of parts down in these cabinets tucked away, and I pulled everything out so I could go through everything. I had a huge yard sale here. Unfortunately, I have to throw away a lot of dirt bike stuff. There's just a stack of handlebars out there I'm gonna throw away. All those gonna throw away. Like, there's so many parts, unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to throw away. I don't have time to list them on eBay and try to sell them, and honestly, I don't know who would buy an old handlebar anyway. But let's run over some of the things that we're doing to the Yamaha YZ250 motor. So first and foremost, here's the transmission. Fourth gear is missing quite a few teeth. That's one. We'll spin it here. Two. So that's missing a half. Then there's a big dent, another big dent, and then another missing one making sure. Yeah, okay, I'm not talking about the same tooth. So we're missing quite a bit of teeth. This thing's had a rough go. The corresponding gears over here are there, but they're not in good shape. So I have to replace, I'm probably gonna just do the whole transmission. I probably don't have to. I can probably get away with saving some of these, but as I mentioned in the last video, guys, for my time and effort, I might as well just put all brand new. So what are you going to take home from this video today? Well, yeah, okay. So here's the case. This thing is just, I purposefully did not clean this thing up. I figured you guys need to see it as is. So yeah, we're full of dirt and rust. I mean, can you guys even grasp that? Like, okay, so if I did get the bike running, say it did have a complete piston in there, it did have a complete ring set in there, and I had compression, if that premix gas mix got down in here, which it does, that's part of how it circulates, it would have rinsed all this dirt up into the cylinder and just destroyed the cylinder, which is still good. The bottom end, here's a little bit of our transmission gears left, and it's stuck to the magnetic drain plug thing, magnet on the drain plug. Guys, if you are not running a magnetic drain plug, do yourself a favor. It's like a $12 upgrade. Use my Rocky Mountain link down in the description. Get yourself one, guys. It will absolutely save you from devastatingly breaking your motor. So here, the magnet was able to attract all the broken pieces of transmission and hold it down here so it didn't get reintroduced into all the other gears. It is very important, guys, that you run a magnetic drain plug. I swear by them. They're on all my bikes. I will never use anything else. But the good thing is, after a vapor hone, this case will be as good as new. There's no damage to either side. I have the other side down here. Now this one took a little bit of damage from when the skirt broke off the piston. It is gouged a little bit, but with a little bit of wet sanding, I can get those grooves out and not lose any integrity of the case, not cause any volume differences really in how it runs. So vapor hone both cases. So what exactly am I trying to show you guys here with all these parts that aren't even related to this motor? Well, I've been putting all of them up here, guys. Addressing the most common question I get on the YouTube channel is, can you please do a video showing top to bottom rebuild of everything you need to know? So obviously this isn't a 4-stroke, and this would not apply to a 4-stroke, but say this is your first time ever breaking down an engine and you are extremely terrified about losing pieces. Go buy yourself a pack of sandwich bags, freezer bags, something like that, maybe even both for some of the larger parts. I get the sandwich ones personally because I know where the bigger parts go. But immediately, just start putting everything in the same relation. So, in other words, here are my clutch springs and the bolts for the clutch springs. A high probability I'm not going to be reusing these, but I'm going to put them all in the same bag together. So get those all together. Now that it doesn't end there, there's clutch pilot bearings that go to the basket, washers that go behind the basket. This one always eludes people, and I think it's hilarious because people order these so much, but there's a washer stuck to the hub of a clutch. It's always stuck to the back of the hub, and it just gets an oil film enough where it sticks right to the back. Just remember, pull that thing off, put it inside. So like, for instance, I will not be bagging my clutch basket and hub. To me, there's no point. Those are a big enough part. I need to inspect that clutch basket, see if it's within spec. I'll get into that in a little bit here. But anything related to the clutch, I'm going to put in one bag. So again, like here's the pressure plate and the clutch pack itself. I'm not going to be bagging that because more than likely I'm going to be replacing the clutch. Even though this clutch looks really, really good, the fibers are still nice and stout. They're in good shape. It's not worth my time, again, to reinstall old parts when I'm going this deep. Now, I'm not making any judgment either. If you are taking apart a bike and your clutch worked fine before you put it together, fine. Put your clutch back in it. It is 100% up to you. So as far as clutch related, the only thing I'm missing is the nut, which is up here for the basket. I kind of just set everything up in here. Really not a good example of how to break down a motor, but I am limited on space with everything that's torn out right now. But I'll come across as I shake this pile down. But I'll put the hub. There's a nut and a washer. I'll also put those in there, so I know that all my clutch stuff is together. And I'll carry that through the whole entire motor, the power valve assembly, the governor, all the shifting components, forks, drums. All the hardware that holds the drums together, you know, like there's the selector spur that goes on the end of the shift drum. I'll put the bolt through here like that. What this really does for me, and I hope this rubs off on you, is when you go to assemble your motor, you're not nervous. You're not thinking, oh man, I hope I'm not missing any parts. Trust me guys, I'm human. I've been there before. I've done it several times. It's not good. It definitely hampers your confidence, and a lot of people end up just saying, hey, I'm gonna pay a mechanic to do this because I'm scared I'm gonna get something wrong. And that's what happens. I mean, straight up. So I'm going to continue to back all this stuff up, and we'll get to the kind of final product here, and also cases, all that. Another very common thing I hear is my bike ran great and then it stopped. Well, let's be honest guys, when our bikes are feeling great is when we push them the hardest. And I think one of the most abused parts and one of the most overlooked parts by a lot of riders on two strokes is the reed block. Now I'll take this out. I haven't looked at this yet. All I did was go ahead and pre-loosen these bolts so I'm not struggling like a dummy on camera here. But this gets so overlooked, and the reeds are so absolutely necessary for making power. And they basically are the fuel pulse, the fuel injection, if you will. It's what's atomizing the fuel as it comes through your carburetor. It goes through the snorkel, which is covered in dirt. What do you expect? And then it goes through this little reed spacer, which is kind of more of a divider. It just kind of directs the fuel more towards the reeds where it needs to go. I can tell from here this has carbon fiber reeds. It's a great upgrade over fiberglass. But here we go. So what you look for on the corners is you're looking for any chipping or fraying. And I'll show you the next thing after you look for chipping and fraying, which that one looks fine. That side looks fine. But then you look through it. If you see any daylight at all, which I don't, I still might replace these anyways, just because reeds are not expensive and they're so important to power. I mean, they're like the thing that makes two strokes really wail on a power band. These look like they're sealing good. Looks like they probably weren't replaced too long ago, but they're very, very dirty, very rusted, corroded. Definitely don't want that reintroduced into that. But check out your reeds, guys. I have the engine back together. This is just the shell of the motor essentially, because this is how I'm going to start vapor honing it. I'll show you. So now I know I'm going to get some flack about this, and that's fine. That's part of having a channel that's open to the public to watch on YouTube. If you have an engine and you're thinking about prettying it up and putting it to the vapor hone, do not put in the engine complete with all the internal parts like you're intending to reinstall it. I know a couple guys who watch this channel that do vapor hone the engines complete. Not ripping on them, but I'm telling you, this media, this glass media that gets thrown at this motor at 6 billion miles an hour, it makes its way through the tightest gaps everywhere. And even though you do not think, like maybe you corked the intake, you corked the exhaust, you left the spark plug in, you corked all these intake or these water ports everywhere, you think you sealed it right, trust me, from experience, I've gotten engines back where they've just vapor honed them and then their piston wore flat. I mean, not even a ring to talk about. It's because that glass media got inside the engine and just wreaked havoc. But so mine is just empty. You saw all the parts we just took out. This is just a shell. I like to put it in like this first and come over, vapor hone everything on the outside, then start breaking it down. You know, the cylinder, obviously you need to take out all the power valves. Anything that moves, I'll just put it that way, anything that moves, you need to take it out, because that media powder will get inside all those little nooks and crannies and it will jam up. Case in point, I did it to my brother's cylinder on his 05 KX250 we're doing here on the channel, and these are the power valves. They are toast now. Luckily the bores are good. I was able to throw a brush hone through them and get them cleaned up, but these things, they're so packed with glass media I could not get them out. I do not mind airing my dirty laundry, so to speak, because I learn from my mistakes and I try to tell you guys so you learn from my mistakes. Do not vapor hone the engine complete. I thought I had this thing completely sealed off. I didn't think there was going to be an issue, but it sneaked in. I'm telling you, it gets in and it's not a good day when that happens. So we'll vapor hone this thing down, and then I'll also do something first. We'll jump in the truck and I'll show you the best, cheapest way to degrease these motors. Next thing you do, head to your local gas station. Guys, I'm telling you what, if you want, you can go ahead and go buy all the degreasing chemicals that you want, spend lots and lots of money on that, or you get a gas can, you come to the gas station and get a couple gallons of diesel. Tell you what, this stuff works better as a solvent than you could use either gasoline or diesel. Personally, I like diesel just because it's a lower flash point and it doesn't explode if you have it near a flame. But diesel is really good. It's oily enough where you can work the part and really clean it, where the gasoline seems to be a little bit harsher. Get yourself a couple gallons of diesel and we'll go get those engine cases cleaned up. The neighbors. What Lend MX video would not be complete without a two-stroke revving its guts out in the background? I'll tell you what. All right, guys. Set you up over here. So, Rubbermaid tote, turkey baster pan, something like that. Those all work fine. Engine. So, it's nice and light. We're just gonna dump diesel all over this thing and let it sit on it, and then after it sits for a while we'll come back and work it with a brush, get all the big stuck stuff off. It's going to be a lot easier on my vapor hone. My vapor hone personally does not, actually I think all of them, they don't like a bunch of gunk being in them. They work better without that. So I'm gonna degrease this thing. Yes, diesel is oily, that's fine. I'll towel wipe it afterwards and rinse it with water, and that's usually good enough to throw inside the vapor hone and get this thing looking, well, like it didn't look inside the other YZ, we'll put it that way. Just put some down the spark plug hole here, because you guys saw the condition of that bottom end, how rusty it was. Now, I've heard of people doing it. I've never tried it, and I might just do it today. I heard if you add simple green to diesel, it will turn it into even more of like a super powered, I don't know, degreaser. But after I'm done using this diesel and it's gonna be all nasty, I typically like to save on it and put it back inside of a gas jug and then use it for lighting my barbecues, you know. Waste not, want not. So I'm gonna let this sit for a bit, let it marinate. We'll scrub it down, get in the vapor hone, then we'll stir out a very, very clean engine. Scrub dub time. Got a wire brush. I'm just gonna start scrubbing this thing, guys. There's no science to it. Just go crazy. Scrub everything. I'll save you guys the suffering of watching me flip this thing and scrub it a million times in different positions and having the camera out in the wind. So I'll just show you when we're ready to pull it out. All right, let's go. All right, I got her out of the tank, and yeah, there's some things my brush couldn't get to, but the benefit is now this stuff is all super loose. It just almost just wipes right off. The vapor hone's going to make short work of all this stuff, but just wanted to give you guys a little before view. I'm going to go vapor hone this thing, take it apart. It's literally just held together by like an 8mm there, 8mm in the front, and then same thing over here. It's an 8mm here, 8mm back here, and the cylinder head just these three 12mm, and then it's apart essentially. But you guys will see in a minute here, we'll be looking brand new. All right guys, gonna get going here. So yeah, engine's completely empty. This is the only way to do it right. So I'm going to start on the outer shell of it and then break it down to get to like the in between where the crank goes in that little crank cavity down there. So I'll slowly break it down, but it's going to be a lot of work rotating it, moving it around. It's going to be a lot. So I'm not going to bring you along for the whole ride, but so you guys get the gist of it. Start the water. Start the air. So I'm going to keep working on this thing. Like I said, it's going to take a while, but get ready, because she's going to be pretty. Ready? Let's go. Well, boys and girls, this thing came out just like new. I'll just go nice and slow so you guys can see the hard work that went into this thing. I mean, real happy with how it came out. The LMS Blasting Innovations cabinet is just such an awesome machine. So the case isn't on all the way, it's just kind of on there so you can show you guys, but I will show you a couple things though. Let me get this line back up. I wanted to show you how good this cylinder is. I mean, you can't see, shoot. I might need to get a little bit more lighting in here. Let me tear this down. I'll show you actually how the middle cases look too. We got that cavity inside there basically looking like this. And this cylinder, I mean, the plating, guys, it is just, it's in great shape. We lucked out. Oh, maybe I can tip it down the light. There we go. Hang on. Work with me. Work with me. Oh, there we go. A little bit, huh? But plating is still very good. We dodged the bullet. Can you see the very bottom? See how clean that is down there, guys? Man, we lucked out. So, absolutely positively, our investment solely in the motor for $400 was completely worth it, especially after a nice vapor hone, make everything look like it's better than new. Let's be honest, you guys have seen brand new parts before. The vapor hone just makes it look brand stinking new. There's like a little, yeah, a little glint and glare to it too. Gosh, have it set up next to the trash cans just to kind of give that relativity of from trash to treasure. Yeah, actually I didn't plan that at all, but that's what I'm going with. Sweet, stoked how that came out. Let's go. All right, boys and girls, so stoked how that 250 motor came out. She is just beautiful. Tell you what, guys, I can't thank the guys over at LMS Blasting Innovation, Patrick. I can't thank him enough. This machine is invaluable. Guys, if you're just builder yourself at home, you like to do cool stuff to bikes, you like to, you know, beautify your own projects or your flipping projects, or even for your business, check out LMS Blasting Innovations on Instagram. Patrick Lay over there, Lay Motorsports, out of I think he's North Carolina or South Carolina, one of the Carolinas. But machines are incredibly affordable and ships to your door, and they're awesome. I can't say enough good things about it, but it's really hard to believe, guys, that just looking at this thing looked like it did before. And it's even harder to believe that that bike is the exact same year, make, and model as our worst bike on Craigslist. Okay, that's not completely true. That one that we picked up, it's a 2000. It's a Y. Was it Y or an X? I can't remember now. But I looked it up. It's a 2000. The one that we picked up, that engine came out of. This is a 2001. It's hard to believe, guys, that they are the same bike, but they are. And I've been putting a ton of hours on this 325, completely worry free, and I've been drilling. Last time I did like 60 laps at our track, not exaggerating. I rode hard all day, and this thing is flawless. It is so good. Again, our 98 Damon Huffman replica YZ250 SR, that is going down to AHM very, very soon. They're going to have their way with it. The Yamasaki guys, just looking at some options for bar mounts. I had a few of you guys send me links to, I think it's called Mako or Mako. I can't pronounce it, but they're like a rubber insulated clamp. I know that my homies over at the New England Motorcycle Museum, Kaplan America, he uses them on some of his 500s. So I might try to put some of those on just to take some of the shiver out of the bars. But holy mackerel, this bike's amazing. Our 2003 RM125 that we did like 4 or 5 years ago now, it's probably not even that long, but I think it's 3 conservatively, maybe 4. She finally kicked the bucket on that Wrench Rabbit motor, and it's a huge testimonial, guys. I know there's a lot of you who are on the fence or maybe completely against Wrench Rabbit kits that have the hot rods, crank, vertex pistons. I tell you what, guys, this thing made it to 106 hours on that Wrench Rabbit bottom end, and she finally let go. It didn't lock up, but it got real clunky. I'll be honest, like, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's got a good little rod click in it. I pulled off the expansion chamber, pipe, whatever you want to call it. We pulled that thing off, and I looked through the exhaust bridge. That piston still looks brand new because there's only like 4 or 5 hours on that piston after we just rebuilt that top end. But the rod finally let go, so that thing needs to come apart. The KX500, guys, I have a bunch of parts still coming from that. I really look forward to getting a fat head for it. It's one of the first prototypes coming for it. Really excited to start cracking into this thing, pull that motor out, and completely go through it, rebuild it back to brand new. Same exact thing that we're doing to our YZ250 on this episode. The 2005, I swear to you guys, it's happening, it's coming. But this beautiful bike is going to get finished, so help me God. And it's the fork treatment just got done with AHM. They sent it out, got the fork treatments done, and it's just got to get put together. And then that will be the day that you guys get to see our possible candidate for the motor swap for that YZ250 we just put together. And then last but not least, guys, our GPX FSC 450R. This thing we just crossed, let's see, 135 miles. So we hit 100 miles, and I tell you what, guys, this bike has been dead nuts reliable. I mean, crazy reliable. Not a single problem at all. It's just, it blows my mind, guys. This thing is so reliable, and having a blast on it. Still just cranking in the motos. And then, yeah, we're going to be doing something hopefully in June with this thing. So a little ways out, but just still want to screw in some more time on this thing. Guys, if you didn't see my release video of getting this from GPX, it's on loan to me till July. And man, what an incredible machine. What a great bike. They're really stepping it up over there in China.
I love China.
All jokes aside, great bike. Just immediately starts all the time. I haven't, it's completely cool to touch. I just walked up to it now, but yeah, you guys get the point. It's super reliable. Great bike, having a blast on it. Fuel injected 4-stroke motor, completely China bike, and it's, I can't believe it, but I don't even think we've had a bolt come loose on this thing. It's just been that good. Anyways, yeah, guys, I'm moving to Carson City, Nevada. So I got, the garage is just a mess right now. It's always a mess, I'll be honest. It's always a mess, but I just finished up Tyler Antignap's CRF 450R motor. That's ready to go back into his bike. That has brand new tumbled internals, oil pump, crank, piston, cylinder, head's been gone through, you name it. That thing is dialed, ready to go for Tyler Antignap. What else? I think that's just the only update I got now. I have a project going on the bench right now. This is an RM85. This was Isaac's bike, and the crank left, but none of the parts from the crank bearings or anything came up top. So we're gonna put a new piston kit in that, completely on the cheap. And if you guys think I'm talking about like on like the Wrench Rabbit cheap, no, cheaper than that. I'm gonna show you guys how that goes, because we just need to sell this thing. It's not coming with us to Nevada. So much to do, so much. It's like crazy. I mean, even my International Scout, you guys know my Scout, some of you do anyway. I swapped out the whole entire chassis. It's now on a 19, I think it's a 99 S10 4x4 Blazer chassis with a 4.3 liter V6. I just have to cut some frame, modify, make some cab mounts. I mean, I have to do that all what we've talked about before April 30th. So your boy's busy, gonna be picking up the camera a lot, so make sure you're subscribed. I hope I earned your subscription today, guys. I'm gonna close it down here, lock it down. We got some really cool things happening with the collective experience. We're gonna be doing some giveaways. You guys been blowing up the link down in the description to my Rocky Mountain page. Rocky Mountain's been a great supporter of the channel since day one. I mean, literally. And so they gave me a job as an ambassador for them to do some influence work with them. And I have a link down in the description, guys. If you use that link, it supports the channel, helps me get parts for the bikes and the projects that you guys see in the videos here. If you guys have any purchases you need to make, please just use that link. All you do is click that link. It'll redirect you back to Rocky Mountain. You use that link, it supports the channel. And what we're going to do is I'm going to be able to pick out orders from Rocky Mountain, and we're going to be doing a ton of giveaways. I already talked to the boys at Reverend Motors. We're going to be giving out oil packs to you guys. We're going to be giving away a throttle timepiece, watches, excuse me, I've kind of stalled there, but watches from Throttle Timepiece. We're going to be giving away bolt packs from Bolt MX Hardware. Ton of rad stuff. I mean, there's like top 5 prize. We're not even doing top 3s, we're just top 5, like just letting everyone get something. And we're going to do this every month. We're just going to give away stuff every month to you guys, because I really appreciate you so much from the bottom of my heart. That being said, guys, I'm going to close it down. I'm tired. I got a ton of stuff to do. We're even unpacking our trailer, our camping trailer completely, which is a complete mess because my wife wants to renovate the inside of it. We're planning on doing a lot more camping this year and doing some moto trips in that. So we're kind of renovating the inside, redoing some things. I'm just turning her loose on that. That's not my department. So guys, that's it. Love every single one of you. I will talk to you very soon. It's a promise. Peace out for now, and always, I'll see you then. Bye.